Welcome to Flamenco Explained. Today we're going to look at how to practice rasgueado. We're going to look at how to make it more even, and then eventually we're going to look a little bit at how to make it more relaxed. And we're going to look at evenness in terms of volume, but also in terms of rhythm. You want each stroke of the rasgueado to be basically the same volume. You don't want one to get lost because it's weaker than the others. And you also want evenness in time. So today we're looking specifically at 16th note rasgueados. So we're going to try to get that 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 as evenly as possible, and we're going to play around with subdivision a little bit in order to practice all of this. So the first thing we're going to look at is in tangos, which is in 4/4. And for now, we're just using 4 chords. D minor 7, which could also be a D minor triad. Either one is fine. C7 or C. B flat 7 or B flat, any B flat voicing. And A. Right, so in tangos, if we're subdividing into 16th notes, we're going to get this. So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and full rasgueado, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. And we're doing that on each chord. Our downbeat is the down stroke of A. So it's down with the ring finger or the A finger, down with the middle finger, M, down with the index or I finger, up with the index. So we're subdividing the beat into 4, 1, E, and A. And then the second two beats of each measure, we're subdividing into 2, 3, and 4, and. So that gives us this. 1, E, and a 2, E, and a 3, and 4, and 1, E, and a 2, E, and a 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, E, and a 2, E, and a 3, and 4, and. The next thing we're going to do is a little syncopated. We're going to go 1 and a 2 E and a 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 4, and 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. So the difference is, rather than doing 1 E and a, we're doing 1 and a 2. So the downbeat is actually the downstroke with the index, and we come in on the 3rd and 4th 16th notes of the beat. So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and. Again, nice and slowly. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and. So in our first one, the A finger was the downbeat, the strong one. In this one, the downstroke with the I finger is the downbeat, so it's got to be a little stronger. So right now we're practicing making sure that both of these fingers can play a strong downbeat. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. So this is a great way to get started with this concept. You want rhythmic evenness, right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4, or 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and. Right? Rhythmic evenness and evenness of volume where the downbeat's a little stronger and the rest are the same volume. What's nice about this is the second one, the syncopated one, makes a nice variation in tangos anywhere you want. So you could do. So it's a nice little close to a phrase or just a different groove that you can be in tangos. So now that we've looked at this concept in tangos, we're going to take it a little further and we're going to go into Solea. So now we're por arriba. So these chords. So the typical Solea rasgueado pattern is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to stay in this structure, but we're going to change the right hand a little bit because this is more about practicing our rasgueados. So the basic pattern that we're using for our exercises is variations of 1E and a 2E and a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're not worrying about accenting the 8 because we're practicing here. So these are straight 16th notes where each beat has 4 16th notes in it. And in a minute, we're going to change that. The downbeat now is the A finger. A, M, I, up, A, M, I, up. First thing you want to do is get really comfortable with this because this is the most common thing. And you want to try to play it as evenly as possible in terms of the volume and also even in terms of time. Learn to play it like a robot. Later on, you can bring your humanity into it. But for technique, you want to play it like a robot, as straight as possible, like a metronome. So once we've got that down, what do we do to accent the other fingers? And why do we want to accent the other fingers? The main reason for doing this is simply to make sure that none of the strokes of our rasgueado is weaker than the others. So we're going to practice making the other fingers be the accents to make sure that we have good control over them and we can make them loud when we want to. So we're going to have to use our powers of subdivision a little bit. If we want to accent the middle finger and have it be the downbeat, then we can either just start 1E and a 2E and a 3, or since we're practicing our subdivisions, we're going to start with a pickup, right? So watch what happens. If I do 1E and a, the 4th 16th note is the downstroke with my A finger, right? Down, down, up, down. 1E and a. I'm accenting the middle finger down on the downbeat. What I'm going to do though is come in on this A finger pickup. So I'm going to do 10, 11, 12, E and a, 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a, 5, 6E and a, 7 and a, 8E and a, 9E and a, 10. Technically that last one should have been an A finger, but when I end the rasgueado very often I'll use a stronger finger just to end it. And that's why I did that. So you could do 9E and a with the A finger before your thumb, or you could do 9E and a thumb. So here we're focusing on two things: the downbeat with the M finger, the middle finger, and that pickup on the 4th 16th of the beat. I'm coming in so that we get a downbeat on 1, which means that I'm doing 10, 11, 12, E and a 1, E and a 2. Right? It's not 12 and 1. It's 12 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4, 5 E and a 6 E and a 7 and a 8 E and a 9 E and a 10, 11. And honestly, I'm improvising the very end there. 8E and a 9E and a 10 feels very odd. And all of this may feel odd to you. So I'm doing 8E and a 9E and a 10. Just what my hand wants to do when I get there. So the next finger that we're going to work on accenting is the downstroke with the I finger, right? So one other way of looking at how to subdivide this is how many fingers come before our downbeat. And in this case, 2 fingers, right? A, M, I, down, which is our downbeat right now, and then I comes up, which means we have 12, E, and a 1. So that's going to sound like this: 10, 11, 12, and a 1, E, and a 2, E, and a 3, E, and a 4, E, and a 5, E, and a 6, 7, and a 8, E, and a 9, E, and a 10, 11, 12, right? 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4, etc. And the last one is the upstroke with the I finger. So 3 fingers precede that, so it's the last 3 16th notes of the beat before the downbeat. So we have 12 E and a 1 E and a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 E and a 7 Well, it's very unlikely that in the real world you will play an upstroke of a three-finger rasgueado as the downbeat. The reason we're doing all of this in the first place is to give each finger a chance to be the downbeat so that we can really see that each finger has the same strength as the others. This will make your hand much more even so that your rasgueados sound even and one finger doesn't sound a lot louder or quieter than the rest of the fingers. So that gives you the evenness of volume, and hopefully all of this 16th note subdivision practice will keep you really aware of what 16th note you're playing and what even 16th notes sound like. If you think about 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a 2 E and a, 3 E and a 2 E and a, 3 E and a, then you're thinking about all the places within a beat that's subdivided into 4 that you could start. And this is a great way to really get into 16th note subdivision and feel like you have a handle on it, because you're just starting at a different place and then they're continuous. Later on in life, it gets really exciting when you leave out other 16th notes along the way. But for now, we're just playing with where do we start? How do we make it sound as even as possible in time and as even as possible in volume of all the 4 strokes of your rasgueado? So the last thing that I said we would talk about is how to practice relaxing. And unfortunately, it's very difficult to practice being super even or super loud and relaxing at the same time. So I'm going to recommend that when you practice relaxing your rasgueados, you cut yourself a little bit of slack on the other stuff. Not too much. You don't want your rasgueado to fall apart completely. As you set up your rasgueado, remember that the fist that you make to shoot out the fingers should be incredibly loose. If you punched anything or anyone, you would break your hand. You do not want any tension in here. So the hand is loose, which means that then I want you to really get in touch with what does this part of the wrist feel like? And can you relax all of that? And then take it further up through this muscle, through the forearm and the neck. So really check in with everything from the neck down to the fingers and make sure that you can't find any tension. Chances are there's still some tension in there somewhere, but we're trying to get rid of everything we're aware of. And then don't even worry about continuous rasgueados. Just sort of do 1 E and a. 1 na na na. Relatively even. But we're not worried about power. We're not worried really about anything except good form and, relative evenness in time. Ba, 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 ba. Don't do 2 in a row, because what I want you to do is this check-in you just did with your whole body before, you're going to do it again. Now, let it all go. So you get used to sort of give yourself 3 to 5 minutes, which will actually feel like a lot of time, of just doing relax, check in with every part of your body. Relax, check in with every part of your body. Relax. And really take a little time. If you come at this saying like, oh, I'm going to learn how to relax really fast, which I promise some of you will, you'll end up going, got it. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for really taking a moment to stop and relax. And once you've really gotten used to this, then maybe 2. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Check in with everything. And you notice I'm muting the guitar. I don't want to worry too much about the sound. I want to get used to playing an even rasgueado with no tension. Right? So you're going to do this until you can do 3, 4, 5, 6 rasgueados in a row, and then stop and check in and feel like you haven't built up any tension. Then you're going to come back and breathe, check in. Same thing. Again, you have to set aside some time to actually practice not having tension. It sounds a little crazy, but this is how you do it. So as you get used to this, then you can start to say like, okay, I'm actually pretty relaxed now. Now, can I really get the time element even, without bringing any tension in? Right? I'm not trying to be loud. I'm just trying to be even. And then eventually you'll try to bring it all together. And then you can say, okay, now my form is good, they sound good, and I'm pretty relaxed. Can I also do that if I'm trying to subdivide and do 12 and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because one of the secrets is that if any part of us is tense, the rest of us is going to be tense. So if the left hand is doing something difficult, it's going to be a lot harder to really relax your right hand. And if your brain is getting tense from trying to think about the subdivisions, chances are the rest of you is going to get tense. So basically you have to learn to be a less stressed out guitarist, which is one of the challenges for a lot of us. But if you actually make some time to practice it, you'll get there much sooner.